From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 8th, 2018. Shots were fired last night at an Israeli public bus that was driving in the West Bank. The driver of the bus and a passenger were lightly injured from pieces of shattered glass. According to the IDF, the incident took place near the Jewish settlement of Beit El. And today, Ynet reports that Israeli security forces found 11 projectiles near the site of the attack. The IDF was investigating, and Israeli troops were searching for the perpetrators. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin met today with Israeli students who are making their way from southern Israeli communities that border Gaza to Jerusalem's Knesset to protest the continual arson devices sent over the Gaza fence into their communities and the threat of rocket fire on their communities. The Jerusalem Post reports Rivlin told the students, "I promise you we must not let the red alert air raid sirens become a routine." He said red will stay the color of the wildflowers. Israeli media, citing a report in the London-based Arabic paper Al Hayat, report that Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas agreed to accept the terms of a ceasefire agreement mediated by Egypt between Israel and terror group Hamas in Gaza. It said that Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received Abbas's approval for efforts to achieve an initial, quote, period of calm between Israel and Hamas in Gaza that would start with a few weeks and then extend to a period of 6 months. But there has been no confirmation of this report either from Israel, the PA, or Egypt. And the Jerusalem Post reported later today that a senior Palestinian Authority official in Ramallah told them that he was unaware of any change in Abbas's position towards a possible ceasefire. New ambassadors to Israel from Jordan and Egypt presented their credentials today to President Rivlin in Jerusalem and reaffirmed their country's commitments to the peace treaties they have with Israel. The Times of Israel reports that both Ghassan Majali of Jordan and Khalid Azmi of Egypt lauded the respective peace agreements and urged a similar one between Israel and the Palestinians. Majali said that Jordan's King Abdullah II considers reaching peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis a cornerstone to peace and stability in our region and throughout the world. Rivlin called the respective peace deals an anchor of regional stability, but said he also wished for warmer relations with the Jordanian and Egyptian peoples, as well as with their governments. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau formally apologized yesterday on behalf of his country for its refusal to accept 907 Jewish refugees fleeing Nazi Germany in 1939. After the German liner MS St. Louis carrying German Jews was rejected by Cuba and by the United States, it was also turned away by Canada, forcing the passengers to return to Europe, where over 250 of them later died in the Holocaust. Speaking at the Canadian Parliament, Trudeau said while decades have passed since we turned our backs on Jewish refugees, time has by no means absolved Canada of its guilt or lessened the weight of our shame. He said we used our laws to mask our anti-Semitism, our antipathy, our resentment. We are sorry for the callousness of Canada's response. We are sorry for not apologizing sooner. The U.S. State Department apologized for rejecting the St. Louis in 2012. Hateful flyers were found this week at the University of Rochester, discovered on a printer at the Susan B. Anthony Institute for Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies on the university's River campus. University spokeswoman Sarah Miller said anti-Semitic messages were faxed to a small number of university departments on Monday, November the 5th. These messages, she said, are reprehensible and cowardly, and they are contrary to the university's values. The exact content of the messages were not made public. Miller said the school was working with local law enforcement to find those responsible. Well, as the Jewish world commemorates the 80th anniversary of Kristallnacht, which marked the formal start of the Holocaust, on November the 9th and the 10th of 1938. JBS features a number of programs tonight relating to that infamous event and to the Holocaust in general, including at 7 o'clock a World War II story of Jewish triumph. Then at 7:30, a look at World War II France. At 8:30, Crystal Nacht, Lessons Forgotten. At 9, a L'chaim with the late Ernie Michel, who lived through the Night of Broken Glass as a teenager. At 10, a ceremony marking Kristallnacht's 75th anniversary. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's the Debka File. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 8th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.